Well, look at you lot that's come back to see what's at the bottom of the shit barrel. Don't you worry, Uncle Jason's got you at Hey Jay's Indie Corner. We've got over 40 new games on the Nintendo Switch once again, because every week there's just 40 new games to slap onto this store. And yes, a lot of them are pretty garbage. Here we go. First up is the hit card game Magic Nations. It's got some Gwent vibes to it. Otherwise, I'm not sure why you'd pay to play this when there are so many free alternatives. Here's Path to Mogis, a game not so subtle in its messaging. You literally attack people with your words to fight and get attacked by enemies' words. Otherwise, it's a 2D puzzle platformer. THQ Nordic brings us another title to the Switch in the form of Book of Unwritten Tales 2. It's a point-and-click style adventure story. It's got some legit quirky looking characters that do seem up to the challenge of providing some chuckles. Now for Riot Civil Unrest, which is a real-time riot simulator. Now you too can relive some of history's most crazy riots and experience for yourself from the comfort of your home. Here's Ping Pong Trick Shot Evolution that completely misses the point of drinking games. See, the point of drinking games is to lose fast so you can get drunk. This game takes a simple drinking game and cranks it up into a legit, full fleshed out game. Craving some more delicious retro side-scroller games? Well, you're in luck because Avenger Bird is now out. It's like if you took a bird from Angry Birds and just made a platformer instead of a revolutionary mobile game. Next up is this sad little potato of a game called The Stillness of the Wind. You live out the life of an elderly woman. I can tell you, if that would really be the case, the wind would not be so still, if you get what I'm putting down here. The game advertises itself as being a quiet rumination on life and loss, so I assume everything that you might care about in the game dies by the end. No thank you. I'm literally starting to feel anger at the quality of some of these games, but onward we go. Next is an RPG about a rundown theater and pleasing its clientele. It's called The Rains Down Players. Solstice Chronicles MIA. It's a sci-fi action shooter with skills, abilities, and it's published by Circle Entertainment. They usually do good stuff. Now we're dipping into the pricier end of the indie spectrum with Sky Gamblers Afterburner. Cool little game if you're into jet simulators. Here's a cheeky game that tries to be cute with its name, Reverie, Sweet As Edition. Sorry game, but I'm not seeing any sweet as here. Not even a trailer on the Eshop. You fight, you solve puzzles, you learn the magic of friendship, I'm sure. It's Excite Bike. Nah, just kidding. It's Pumped BMX Pro. Same idea though. Do tricks and stuff, don't die, the usual. I'm seeing a trend here in management simulation games coming to the Switch. Soon there'll be a management simulation game for everything. So this one's about managing a school. Have fun. Oh hell no. How did this Wii U Flash game make its way to the Switch? This is like Monkey Ball, but way worse. Percy's Predicament Deluxe. Next, please. Here's a first-person cyberpunk detective game, which honestly looks pretty damn awesome. You can hack minds of the people you interrogate, and overall it just looks dark and creepy of a game. It's called Observer. Staying in the future vein, our next game is Mercury Race, a game that combines racing with an arcade shooter. If you think of it as a Star Fox game with only the tank mode, that seems to be what they're going for. Alright, what we have here. Side-scrolling tactical RPG where height is key. Well, this is Magic Scroll Tactics. Looks alright. Here's Cube. See the play on letters it did there? Clever, huh? It's one of those slidey cube puzzle games. Okay, don't laugh at me, but as weak as this game may look, I have a soft spot for these types of harvesting resource gathering games. It fulfills some deep-rooted dormant desire within me to command an army of people. Next we have an action-adventure game that tries to hit every nostalgia key possible. It's called Evoland Legendary Edition, and it does far too good a job at touching me in the nostalgia for me to make fun of it. Not a fan of pronouncing this game as there's a French swear embedded in there, but here's Estiman, which is some kind of arcade, maybe shooting blob thing. It's endless, so that right there turned me right off. The sequel to Defense Grid, one of the more interesting looking tower defense games I've seen. Build towers, kill aliens, you know what to do. I was going to rip on this, but then I learned of its heritage. Commander Keen and Keen Dream, a classic 2D platformer developed by the infamous id Software. Yes, the same studio that went on to develop Doom and Wolfenstein. Still, there's a reason those latter names are well known today and Commander Keen isn't. Points to this release for helping preserve a classic, but that's about it. Wow, there's a lot of sci-fi based games this week. What's the occasion? This is a game about fighting things. It's called Captain Star 1. You make the strategies and then the game does the strategies. Alright, I'm interrupting this indie corner to bring you some news that BlazBlue Central Fiction Special Edition is now available in the eShop. If you're unfamiliar with the series, it's a pretty hype 2D fighter. You know it's good because I use the word hype, and I don't usually use such language trivially. Take me away on a journey to the unexpected. That also happens to be the name of this game. It's a first-person game with popsicles, pedophilic trees, treasures, and your mother. Okay, maybe not your mother, but you never know. Hey, remember Puzzle Bobble 2? It's in the eShop now. Cool. Did you get tired of all that partying with last week's party games? Well, don't fret. Here's a new one with some intense kites. So intense you might even say they're stunt kites. Ever feel not manly enough? Like nature hasn't favored you with the testosteronies? I feel like that sometimes, but luckily video games offer games like Oniken Unstoppable Edition, which comes jam-packed with testosteronies and Ninja Gaiden-like cutscenes and gameplay. You know, the more I look at this, the more I wonder why I haven't played this yet. Continuing with that testosterone theme, eh? Alright, let's go. This is Autolus the Dark Call. It's like Castlevania if Castlevania had a sword versus a whip. We're not being sponsored to talk about this game, so we won't. Just as I thought we were getting into a steady stream of good games, Mimic Hunter came along and spoiled the party. It's a 2.5D platformer that really is not selling me on its movement mechanics at all. Color me intrigued, Glass Masquerade. It's a puzzle game with glass but no chances to cut yourself. Remember those fast food flash games you can find for free anywhere? Well, screw those because here's a premium one you can pay for. It's Food Truck Tycoon. Another game that tries far too hard to tickle our nostalgia bits. Doom and Destiny wants to desperately be one of those classic Final Fantasy games, and I can't really blame it because so do I. It's first-person Prince of Persia! No, it's just City of Brass. A first-person game with a whip and all sorts of baddies. Next, Access Denied is a game where you try to break into EA's loot boxes for free. Finally, we got 99 moves, but I wish we didn't. And we're done. This week was a really hard week, people. You know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I think you eventually develop an eye for what's good or not, and there's a lot of not good here. But hey, it's not my job to judge, only present. Hope you enjoyed this week's recap. I'll see you next week, and until then you can either keep on playing indie, or keep it classy, or try both at the same time.